I love the names on this team. They have Sixto Sanchez, and they have my favorite name probably in baseball right now, Jazz Chisholm.
Showing emotion in baseball is terrible and should never be in the game.
It's weird how the dynamic works between sports.
But to win a championship, not only do you need great players on the court, but you need good chemistry, which takes time to develop.
Justin Fields is a all-time talent.
Corey Perry will give some veteran presence to the Canadians.
I feel like Luka will take that next step, and if he can get a three ball consistently around 35%, I feel like they could become a contender.
We can make jokes about you not being in the Super Bowl for 20-something years, but...
What's up, everyone? This is Justin Goldman from the Goalie Guild and Lift the Mask, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Austin and Kevin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin. I am joined by the man that... I don't know if you've had this guy in fantasy, Austin, Deebo Samuel.
Best believe I have. I was a ride or die with him, and I died.
Yeah, same. Of course, the jokes have been made about the Deebo Samuel trade and just getting a 5th-round pick back. I understand because of the contract, and it looks like the Niners were trying to get rid of him. But I'm just curious, what are your overall thoughts on the trade?
I'm a little bit confused about it on both fronts. First, I know Luke McCaffrey still has a long way to go, but when Luke McCaffrey was coming into the NFL, his job was supposed to be what Deebo was doing. So, and obviously that didn't necessarily pan out last year, but he was still solid. He was solid for a rookie, right? He's still going to be a part of the offense next year, I expect. But he was expected to have some rushing upside. Then he had none. My question is, are you bringing in Deebo to kind of help train Luke McCaffrey and maybe some of the other young receivers? Or is he supposed to be a long-term option? If he's supposed to be just here to help out the other receivers, because he has really struggled with drops the past couple of seasons. I'm not as concerned, but long term, I feel like there could be some problems. How much is left on his contract?
So that's what I actually just Googled that. So it looks like next year he's a free agent. Because on Spot Track it has 4 void years. It in his age 30 season, it says void / undrafted free agent. So it looks like it would just be a short term thing for him. This was a potential out, because for the 49ers, and because it says 0 dead cap. So yeah, it looks like it's just for this year. He signed a 3-year deal. He signed it in 2022, so it's up to so this is the final year of his contract.
Okay, then I think it's fine. I think it's fine for both sides. Getting a 5th-round pick back isn't actually all that bad if you're only giving 1 year of flexibility for Washington.
Yeah, and I kind of view it as what we saw, especially if this is as I'm trying to double check when it ends. Yeah, it ends after the 2025 season. So this really reminds me of what the Texans did. But the Commanders had a better run than that rookie Texans with CJ Stroud. Happened to be just the same two, like they were both the number 2 overall pick, performed way above expectations, and then you go get a guy that looks like it's not working out there, and you're going to add him to their system, and they need a wide receiver. You mentioned Luke McCaffrey, but I think this gives them a proven weapon. I am curious, though, because I think we talked about this before. What role does Deebo play? Because Deebo, I think, was having some contract issues with this contract when he was like, I don't want to be that gadget guy. like we saw him with the Niners, I want to be more of a wide receiver. Do we see Washington do that, or do they get creative like they did with the Niners? And is Deebo willing to do that? But I think this gives another proven weapon for Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's going to be a very interesting season. I find it hard to believe that he doesn't do that because his ability, he can't really run routes well, and he struggled catching the ball at the end of last season. His best thing is being a gadget. So I struggle to imagine a world where he's not getting some carries and not getting some very, very short receptions. But, I mean, if he really doesn't want to do it, then maybe. But I just feel like he loses a fair amount of his value by doing that.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with you. And to me, Terry McLaurin is more. I think I was thinking of Curtis Samuel. He was kind of that gadget guy with Washington, but he's no longer with them. Terry
That's
McLaurin
what they
is
thought
like-
Luke McCaffrey was going to be last season, but it didn't actually pan out to be because he didn't really run the ball. So maybe now if they do one, it'll probably be Deebo. But maybe Deebo's here to kind of teach Luke McCaffrey how to do that, or maybe teach someone else how to do that. But he's definitely not the wide receiver one. He's not going to be above Terry McLaurin. So I don't know if he's in any situation other than the one he had with Brandon Ayuk, because they were basically 1A, 1B. Zach Ertz is returning, right?
That's a good question. I view this as also they could still draft or they could go differently. It said in March 2024.
Oh, he won't.
He
He
won't.
won't resign.
Okay. Oh, yeah. He said he's not retiring, but we'll see.
Oh, wait. This one says hoping to return to Commanders.
Okay, but there's
Okay.
nothing concrete.
We don't
about
know.
returning.
But if he returns, he was very solid last year, and I mean, he almost had 650 yards, 7 touchdowns. So the offense could be dynamic if Deebo returns to his previous form. And I like some of the young guys they have in Washington. The only problem I see is kind of Deebo's ego getting in the way, which is part of the problem that we saw at the end of his tenure with the 49ers.
Yeah, I kind of view this as, okay, I'm going to take this risk, and it's only going to cost them a 5th-round pick. They need a wide receiver help. They could still go wide receiver in this draft. And
I
then
wouldn't be shocked if they do.
Yeah, especially if Luther Burden falls out of the first round or falls down. But yeah, we can talk about that in the draft, in more draft episodes. But I think I saw someone that I kind of agree with this. It looks like the Niners are clearing cap space for that Brock Purdy contract. It also could be they may want to go in a different direction, kind of with that ego with Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, I can see both ways. I think there would be more moves if they were totally clearing out for a Brock Purdy contract, because I think that contract's going to be easily top 10 in the league. So I think it's more of that may be part of it. But I think it's more that they were having arguments regarding his role in the offense and how he's going to be utilized. And also, Ayuk got a lot of money, so he may be talking about that as well. So I don't think either team has won the trade just yet. Getting a 5th-round pick for a player that's been a multi-time Pro Bowler is tough to watch, but I don't think it's necessarily something that will ruin the 49ers. I think that they'll survive, and it's going to be, does Deebo want to be what he's best at in Washington, or does he want to be just an outside or inside wide receiver that just runs mid to deep routes, and he either performs in that role or he struggles like he did when performing those tasks in San Francisco.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And kind of what do we see with him? And yeah, I don't think there's a clear winner until what we see from this season. Kind of looking at that Stephon Diggs and Bills and Houston trade, I don't know if you can even judge the winner now, but it was kind of like, okay, this happened. They're both going different directions. You could say it worked out. Well, it didn't. He got injured, which makes it murky.
He was playing well and then got hurt. So I don't think we
Yeah.
can really say just yet.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's another thing. But yeah, overall, just I think a weird trade. It was kind of like, oh, Deebo's to Washington. But you kind of got to respect Washington going out and making a move and taking that risk.
You can tell they're committed to their team and to the future with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, and so that concludes everything we have about that. We'll keep you updated. Mention draft, of course, that's coming up in about a month. Well, close to 2 months, a little less than 2 months. We'll keep you updated on that. Make sure you hit the bell, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.